Hello and good morning. Let's take a look at the bell work here. We're about ready to finish up half of this here, but we're not done yet. So look up here. If you're going to reflect it over the x-axis, you change the y. Always change the other one. So in this case, I'm going to change that. So I'm going to get -2 and -4. And then rotate 90 degrees. Now, if you rotate it 90 degrees, according to the rule, I'm pretty sure you change the X and switch. Let me verify that. Okay, that is correct. So you want to go ahead and change the X and switch. So here, you're going to change the X and switch it. So your final answer is going to be a -4 and a +2. That should be it. Let's take a look at this one. This one is just a translation, just a slide. So you want to put a -8 right here on the X. And then you want to put a +5 on the Y. So the new point here is going to be a -13. And this is going to be 12. And that's it. That's how you do that. It says homework. Now I need you to do this by Friday. Okay? So start tonight, log into Clever, and I want you to do the work. So Clever, write this down. Performance matters, and I want you to do the winter break challenge. And I'm counting this as 50 points. So make sure you do it and start tonight. I'm going to start checking tomorrow. Okay? So write this down. Clever, performance matters, and winter break challenge. All right, let's keep moving. On this one right here, MCR, let's switch over to MCR and let's work the bell work here. So on this right here, what you're going to do is subtract those fractions. Well, when you subtract, you need the same denominator. So remember, you take the biggest one, which is 7. Does 3 go into 7? No, double it. Does 3 go into 14? No, triple it. Does 3 go into 21? Yes. That's your least common denominator. And that's the way I taught you. So 3 times 7 is going to give me 21. And 7 times 3 is going to give me this one. So I'm going to end up with 14 over 21 minus 3 over 21. And when I do that, I get 11 over 21. This one right here is division. So you got to flip that one. Before you do, you got to change this. So that's 10 plus 1. So that's 11 over 5 times 3 over 1. So that's going to be 33 over 5. We're going to leave it as an improper fraction. This one right here, you're going to first do volume. So the bottom is a circle. So pi radius squared times the height. The height here is 7. Multiply all of that out, and it's going to be cubic inches. It's volume. All right, let's pick up where we left off here. Let's talk about geometry. Now there's one that I want to redo from yesterday, and it's this one right here. So turn your packet. If you didn't get a packet, it's over there on the table. There's 3 pages. This one right here, if you remember, I used K. What they wanted me to do was rotate this with the L right here. So let me see if I can redo that. Just take a look at it, and I'll do it the exact way in a minute. But let's go ahead and use this line here. And then let's go 90 degrees to that. And 90 degrees is going to be the L, okay? So 90 degrees to that is going to be, I think, something like this. So if you take L and you swing it this way, it's going to hit somewhere over here. Okay? So if you look at your choices, the ones that go up are probably not going to work. Like -7 up 10, I mean, you can just throw those out. -9 up 10, you can throw that out because that's way up here. Okay, and then you're supposed to, translate it as well. All right, so I guess it's possible. Well, let's find this point. If I look at it carefully, they're counting by twos. So point L is 2, 4, and then half makes 5. So that point L, is going to be 5. And then it looks like, let me look at it carefully, it looks like it's down half of 1, so that's exactly 1. And it's down 1. Okay, so that's where point L is. Now, they want me to rotate it 90 degrees. Well, we just said you got to change the X and switch. So when you change it, you're going to end up with -1 and switch it, and you get this, okay? And then they want you to put the -8 here on the X, and then the 5 right here. And if you do that, you're going to get -9 and 0, and that's the one I'm going to go with right there, and that's exactly how to do it. All right, let's keep moving. All right, let's talk about this backside here. All right. We're on page 5. It says a transformation from point A to B. A transformation can be a flip, it can be a rotation, it could be a slide, or it could be a glide rotation, which is a combination of a slide and a flip. So look up here. It looks like you could flip A over to B. So I'm going to say a reflection. It looks like you could rotate it 180 degrees. I'm going to say rotation. And I'm going to say you can just slide it over. I'm going to say all three. So I'm going to say all three of these. Let's look at this next one. If this triangle is rotated 180 degrees, where is point A? Well, if you look, point A is over 5 up 4, it looks like. So over 5 up 4 is point A. And you know point A, if you draw this line, point A is going to be 180, is going to be somewhere over here. And so what I think you do with the rules, and let's just take a look at that. So according to the rule for 180, and I'm looking on the board here, it's going to be, you just change the X and change the Y. So write that down. So 180 degrees, and you need to know these rules. So 180 degrees, either way, is change X and change Y. So write that down. So if you change these, don't switch them, you're going to get -5 and -4, and that's going to be my answer. So my circle must be off. It looks like it should be here. It looks a little better circle there. Okay, so that takes care of that. Let's keep moving. This one right here, it says, what is the image of this if you translate it? Translate is a slide, so you want to put a -17 with the X, and then here you want to put a +2. Well, that's going to give me a -6 and a -2, and that's what I'm looking for. It looks like it's that one right there. That's really easy. Don't miss those, okay? All right, let's talk about this one. So we have a line segment is reflected over the y-axis. So if it's going over the y, you change the x. What are the coordinates of the line segment? Well, if you change the x and switch these, the problem is they're 0, 0. So it's still going to be 0, 0 for that one. But if you change the x and switch it, it's going to be 6 over here and a -4 over there. So 6 and -4. And that's the one I'm looking for. And on this one right here, let me see what we got. Okay, so what I did was I did rotation. Let me take that back. Okay, so if you reflect it over the y-axis, you don't switch it, you just change the x. So here you're just going to change the x, not rotate. So be careful with your rules. So on this one, it should be a -4 and 6. So that's the one I'm going to go with. And it's a good thing the other one wasn't there, because I might have picked it. All right, let's keep moving. It says, what might this be? Well, it looks like I could take this one. The original one is actually this one. And I could slide it and then go down. I'm going to say it's a translation. That's what I'm going to go with. This one looks like a flip. So I'm going to go with a reflection on that one. This one right here, if you put a 45 degree, I'm going to say reflection on that one. This one right here, I'm also going to split it here, and I'm going to reflect it. So I'm going to say reflection on that. Okay, so those shouldn't be too bad. And that pretty much takes us to the last page of this, and I'll print you up some more tomorrow. So let's take a look here. We have a triangle. We'll just do a little more work. And these are the vertices. It's rotated 180 degrees. Remember, 180, you just change both of them, but you don't switch. Okay? So if you change these, what you're going to end up with is 2 and negative 4. Okay? If you change these, you're going to get negative 2, negative 2. You can't change 0, but you can change that one. And that's what you get right there. Write the rule. So here you're going from 3 to 2. So if you're going from 3 to 2 on your x's, then you need to put a minus 1. So the rule is going to be x and then minus 1. And then your y rule, your y is going from 2 to 6, so you want to add 4, so you want to do plus 4, and that's your rule. Okay? Make sure you understand that concept. Just about done. Which transformation maps the solid onto the dashed figure? So you're going from here to here. Okay? So let me think about this. It looks like you could rotate it 180 degrees here. Okay? A translation, if you slide it to the right and slide it down, I think it's going to be upside down. If you reflect it over the x-axis, it's going to put it over here. If you reflect it over the y, it's going to put it over here. I'm going with a rotation on that. A triangle has these vertices which produce an image with this. Okay, so you're going from negative 3 to positive 3. Negative 3, and you're going to positive 3. Remember, the prime is always the one you finish with. That's the image, is what they call it. That's your pre-image. So to get from here to here, let's think about this. Here's negative 3, 2, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. So if you're going from here, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you want a positive 6 here, which will give you the 3. So the rule, let me think here. Which transformation would produce this? Let's see here. Rotation, rotation, reflection over the x. All right, so maybe I better graph this point here. So I have negative 3 and then down 1. So this is point A. And then I'm going over 1, 2, 3, and then down 1. Okay, so it looks like I'm reflecting it over the y-axis. So I'm going to say reflection over the y-axis. It could be a rotation, a point rotation, 180, but they don't give you that choice. So I'm going to go with reflection on that one. Okay, so if you can, right now, you can go ahead and log into Clever and you can start on that winter break challenge. All right, let's move over now to MCR. All right, so MCR class, okay, this is not geometry. We worked some of these, and first of all, perimeter is the distance all the way around it. Make sure you know that. All right, let's keep moving. This right here, it says order from least to greatest. Well, you might say, well, how do I do that? Well, you take your calculator, clear it out, and you're going to take 5, shift, square root. I get 2.236. 2.236. This one, 5 divided by 3, is going to be 1.6 repeating. This one is 0.7, so forget about that one. And then 2 shift square root, I get 1.41, or 1.41 is correct. All right, so the smallest one. Now the negative is always the smallest one, so it's one of these two. This one is a negative 1 or 0.1, and this one is a negative 1 point. The bigger the negative, the smaller. So this is number 1, this is number 2, and then the next one, 0.7, would be smaller than these two. So I'm going to say 0.7 is number 3. And then this one is smaller than that one, so I'm going to say this is number 4. And the biggest one is here, and I'm going to say that's 5. And that's from least to greatest. Make sure you know that. Remember that a plus and a minus is going to give you a negative, so that's a -9. This one right here, you have to find your least common denominator. I would do 28, 4 times 7. It may not be the smallest, but that's what I'm going to use. So I'm going to use 7 up here, and I'm going to use 4 over here. So I'm going to get 63 at the top on this one, and then -4. That's going to be 59 over 28. And then you got to try to reduce it. This one is going to be a negative times a negative is going to be a positive. So this is going to be a positive 6.8 times 6.8. And you're going to get that. Okay? This one right here, draw your line. You're going to go ahead and first add 8. And when you add 8, you're going to get 6 over 7x is equal to 15. Now you're going to multiply by 7. And when you multiply by 7, you're going to get some big old number over here. And then you got to divide by 6. Okay? So you're going to take 15 times 7. And then you're going to divide by 6. Press equals, divide by 6. I get 17.5. All right, continue working on this sheet. If you get stuck, ask for help. Have a good morning.